Tallstar's Revenge, Chapter 17. Paw's steps sounded in the shadows behind Tallpaw. He scented Sparrow and looked up. The roach had slid among the heather fronds and stood at Tallpaw's shoulders. "These are tough times, Tallpaw," he murmured. Tallpaw moved closer to the brown Tom, relieved to have someone beside him. Listar pushed between Cloudrunner and Sandgrass. "We can't let this tragedy divide us," she meowed. "We are WindClan and we are strong." She dipped her head to beckon Aldron. "And thanks to our visitors' battle skills today, we are safe. If they hadn't been here, we may have lost our home." "What are you saying?" Hickory Nose curled his lips. "That without them, ShadowClan would have won?" Heatherstar met his gaze steadily. "Half our warriors were telling. It made us vulnerable." Tallpaw gulped. This felt like a direct challenge to the tunnelers. He sighed and Sparrow pricked his ears. We were lucky our visitors were with us, today Heatherstar went on, but they won't last forever. What will happen if ShadowClan attacks once they've left? Plumeclaw's eyes stretched into the twin moons. "What are you saying? We have to stop tunneling?" Tallpaw's pads pricked as he watched his father's tail sweep the grass behind him. "No," Heatherstar meowed. "But we shall send out small intelligence patrols and give you more training in above ground battle skills." Sandgrass lifted his chin. "Our skills are enough to protect the clan." "I'm saying that the more skills we share, the better." Heatherstar gazed down at Breckenwing. "But first we shall join as one clan to sit vigil for our fallen clanmate." She crouched down and touched her nose to Breckenwing's ginger pelt. Reed Butler joined her. As the clan gathered around the dead warrior, Tallpaw ducked out from the heather and crossed the camp. Squeezing in beside Palebird, he pressed his muzzle to Breckenwing's pelt. Beneath her blood-soaked pelt, she felt like stone. Tallpaw leaned against his mother, breathing in the warm scent of her fur. "Palebird," he whispered, "please tell me it's going to be okay." Palebird nuzzled closer to Breckenwing. Heart aching, Tallpaw screwed his eyes shut. "What's this about a gorge town?" he heard Sparrow whisper from the shadows. Sandgrass answered him. "We spent half of Leaf Bear and all New Leaf digging it, he growled beneath his breath. "But we've had to abandon it." "Why?" Sparrow sounded curious. "A dumb flood scared one of the apprentices." Tallpaw flinched. "One of the apprentices? Is that all I am to you now?" "Why did you build a tunnel?" Sparrow pressed. "To give us a secret route to the river." "Hush!" Larksplash snapped. "We're sitting vigil." The grass behind Tallpaw swished as Sandgrass joined his clanmates. Tallpaw let his head drop against his mother's shoulders, and she didn't seem to know he was there. He could take the warmth from her pelt. Tiredness crept over him as he leaned into her fur. Letting go of his misery, he drifted to sleep. The movement of Breckenwing's body woke him. Tallpaw jerked his head and blinked. The sky was pale, the beginnings of dawn showing over the heather wall. The elders were dragging their clanmate away. Palebird shifted beside him. "Can I help with the burial?" She clambered to her place. "Yes, you can," puffed Flamepelt, who crouched down as Whiteberry and Larksplash hauled Breckenwing onto his back. Tallpaw felt the cold air where Palebird had been. He stood up, his wounds stinging, his legs stiff from the damp grass. Redclaw and Cloudrunner shooed him backward to make way for the others as they carried Breckenwing out of the camp. Heatherstar dipped her head as they passed. "May StarClan cherish her as we did," she murmured. The riders kept back by going by the wall to the camp, looking mournful and somber. Only Sparrow's gaze glittered something like curiosity as he watched the elders leave. "Go undress in your den," Tallpaw heard Dawnstripe's whisper and turned around. Samantha was gazing at him gently. "You must be tired," she murmured. "Actually, I slept all night." Tallpaw shifted his paws guiltily. Was he supposed to be stay awake? Then let's train. Dawnstripe whisked her tail. "The vigil's over. We might as well carry on as normal." She headed for the entrance, and Tallpaw followed, relieved that Dawnstripe hadn't tried to ask how he was feeling. Her briskness was as refreshing as the wind. They passed Sparrow and Sandgrass. The Toms were talking with their heads close together. Sandgrass's eyes flashed with excitement. Tallpaw pricked his ears. "You say Tallstar is forbidding you from going down there?" Sparrow asked. "Yes," Sandgrass whispered. Tallpaw halted and sat down, pretending to search for a flea in his tail. Why was Sparrow so interested in the gorge tunnel? "What a waste," murmured the roach. Sandgrass thought, "All that plow work for nothing." "You sound proud of the tunnel." "I know it better than my own pelt," Sandgrass declared. "Then surely you can go down there," Sparrow reasoned. "You know which parts are safe and which might be dangerous." "Of course I do," Sandgrass snorted. "I built every step of it with my own paws." Tallpaw straightened up. What was Sandgrass thinking? Were his toes the only thing he cared about? Sandgrass thought he was special just because he could dig? Rabbits dig. They're not special. Pelt pricking, Tallpaw dunked out of the camp and raced after Dawnstripe. His thoughts whirled. Perhaps Tallstar was right. The clans needed warriors who could fight, not tunnels. As they reached the training ground, the sun lifted over the forest and spilled light across the grass. Tallpaw was relieved to feel the warmth washing his fur. "Dawnstripe?" he asked as she halted at the head of the grass clearing. "What?" She looked around. "Do we really need tunnelers?" Dawnstripe hesitated. "It's part of our tradition," she told him at last. "There's a lot of skill and courage involved, skills that only Wind Clan possesses. So it makes us special?" Tallpaw pressed. "Yes. But what use is it?" Tallpaw meowed bluntly. "What's the point of digging underground when battles are fought up here?" His gestured to endless more with his tail. Dawnstripe's ears twitched. "Let Tallstar worry about whether Wind Clan needs tunnelers or not. We're here to train." Tallpaw felt a prick of irritation, of frustration. She hadn't answered his question. "Just one lap." Dawnstripe flicked her tail, and Tallpaw hared away across the grass. "You'll be stiff after the battle, so take it easy," she called after him. She was right. Tallpaw tensed as pain flashed through him. He wasn't going to take it easy. When he was running, he couldn't think about anything else, and that felt good. He charged across along the grass, and brushing close to the heather, making wide a circuit he could. As he rounded the far end, he saw a creamy brown pelt slide out from the heather beside him. As he rounded the far end, he saw a creamy brown pelt slide out from the heather to stand beside Dawnstripe. "Algernon!" Tallpaw sped up, wondering why Algernon had come to the training area. "Is everything okay at camp?" he asked. He skidded to a halt, a tail length away from Dawnstripe and Algernon. "Of course, I just came to see what you're doing," Algernon rumbled. "I hope you don't mind." Tallpaw shrugged. "Of course not." He peered past the road. Was Rena coming too? Where are the others? "Rena and Bess joined the hunting patrol," Algernon told him. "Mole wanted to hunt alone." "What about Sparrow?" "He went off with Sandgrass," Algernon meowed. "They were talking about some tunnel that leads down to the river." "Poor Sparrow." Tallpaw felt a flash of sympathy. Once Sam goes down the tunnel, he'd talk his ears off about tunnel skills and all the rules about not leaving your tunnel mate and how to hear the rabbits on the far side of the moor. He looked at Dawnstripe. Can we practice battle moves today? In case ShadowClan attacks again? Yes, Dawnstripe meowed grimly. I just hope you won't need them. By the end of the session, Tallpaw felt much better. He was going to be the best moor runner WindClan had ever seen. While Sungrass was scrubbing around in muddy holes, he would be defending his clan. I'll avenge Breckenwing's death. He curled his claws and imagined throwing the body of a ShadowClan warrior in front of his clan. They'd have to forgive him then. Can we hunt? He growled. He wanted to feel flesh beneath his claws. The prey heap is empty. Dawnstripe was deep in conversation with Aldron. He watched the practice session, and now he leaned back on the grass, basking in the sun. You lived with 2 legs? Dawnstripe leaned closer to the rock. What was it like? 2 legs are funny creatures, Aldron told her. Dawnstripe, Tallpaw interrupted. Can we hunt? You go, Tallpaw. Dawnstripe flicked her tail. We'll catch up. Tallpaw shrugged and headed downslope. No one's hunted the burrows by the gorge for a while, Dawnstripe called after him. There should be plenty of prey there. Okay, Tallpaw called over his shoulder as he pushed through the heather. I'll see you there. He followed a stale rabbit track and emerged from the heather at the top of a rise. The land sloped away past a swath of grass before flattening out to meet the end of the garage. Tallpaw could just make out the dimples where the rabbit burrows had dug close to the surface. Tallpaw pounded toward them. The ground thumbered beneath his paws, solid, then hollow, then solid again. Tunnels, Tallpaw snorted. Stupid tunnels. As he pulled up, he pulled up as he neared the garage, stepping lightly. He didn't want to threaten any rabbits that might be grazing near the burrows. He must be on top of the gorge of the tunnel by now. Was Sandgrass down there, boring the ears off poor Sparrow? He paused, feeling the ground tremble beneath his claw. Feeling the ground tremble beneath his paws. Were they digging? He crouched and pressed his belly to the grass, feeling for the tumors. The fur rose on his spine. He could feel the rumbling deep in the earth. It stirred the memories of the flood. Was the tunnel collapsing? Fear flaring, Tallpaw raced for the burrows. He might be able to hear what was happening through one of the openings. Surely Sandgrass wouldn't take Sparrow anywhere dangerous. He was too experienced to lead an untrained cat to an unstable tunnel. Tallpaw slowed to a halt, jerking around, glancing from burrow to burrow. Poking his head into one, he heard earth roar. He stiffened as the ground shook beneath his paws. Terror uncoiled in his belly. Then claws scrambled behind him. Tallpaw whirled as a mud-drenched cat burst from the rabbit hole. Sparrow! He recognized Roger's eyes through his filthy pelt. Tallpaw glanced past him, expecting Sandgrass to race out, but he only heard the growl of the earth folding itself, crushing air and light and everything else inside. Where's Sandgrass? Tallpaw stared at Sparrow. Wasn't he with you? Sparrow glanced back at the hole. Flank, I lost him. You lost him? Tallpaw blinked. You left him behind. Too much water, Tallpaw panted, Sparrow panted, and mud. You can't leave a cat underground. There was a flash of moon on the horizon. Dawnstripe and Aldron were heading towards them. Sparrow! Aldron's pipe spat. You're soaked. Are you okay? I had to find my father. Tallpaw barged past Sparrow and plunged down the hole. Darkness engulfed him. The sour smell of river water and soil flooded his nose. He raced forward, flattening his ears against the roaring earth. Hurtling along the tunnel, he crashed against one wall, then another. Running blindly, panic sent his thoughts whirling. Sandgrass! His yell echoed in the darkness. The soil around him was growing loose all the time. The tunnel narrowed, and Tallstar tripped over a pile of earth. Scrambling over it, he found himself squeezing through an ever-tightening gap. Sandgrass! Each earth turned to mud around him. He was slithering though. Now he was slithering through the tunnel like a snake. Where are you? The rambling was growing louder. The earth was similar. I'm coming, Sandgrass! Tallstar hauled himself forward, scrambling with his hind legs, pushing desperately on. A thunderous rumble swept toward him, and the floor of the tunnel heaved beneath his paws. Mud and water filled his muzzle, and terror burst his heart as the world turned black. Well, that's the end of Tallstar's Revenge, guys. I have been chapter 17. I've been mute through time 3. Sorry about the random pause and the cuts. My brothers came in. Comment and subscribe, bye. And chapter 18 will be uploaded tomorrow. I hope